Welcome back. It's Pi Day today, and it's also episode 33 here at Tech Headlines Today, where you can get all the top tech headlines in an easy listening podcast. Go ahead and subscribe or follow if you haven't yet. We won't judge. If you're new, we've got show links in the description, which will give more details on the topics that we cover. So now, let's get into it. Ford will sell some Explorer SUVs without rear climate controls due to chip shortages. With no end in sight to the global semiconductor shortage, Ford will temporarily offer some Explorer SUVs without the electronics necessary to access the car's heating and air conditioning controls from the rear passenger seats. Following a report from Automotive News, a Ford spokesperson shared confirmation of the plan with The Verge on Saturday, telling the outlet that the move is an effort on the automotive's part to get those cars to the customers faster. They added Ford would offer those SUVs at a discount and noted they will still come with the functioning front seat climate controls. The automaker reportedly plans to ship the missing chips to dealers within a year, at which point owners of these models will need to bring in their cars for installation. Ford won't be the first automaker to ship a car without parts in response to the chip shortage. Last year, some Tesla Model 3 and Model Y buyers got cars with missing USB-C ports. BMW, meanwhile, removed touchscreen controls on some of its vehicles, including the X5 and Z4 models, to cope with the shortages. Instagram Live adds moderation tools. Instagram Live has added support for moderators who can help streamers prevent their chats from being filled with abusive, dubious, or just plain unwanted messages from the viewers. Instagram says that streamers can designate someone as a live moderator capable of reporting comments, preventing another viewer from commenting on a particular broadcast, or removing the viewer from that broadcast entirely. These basic tools have been available on Twitch, YouTube, and other live streaming platforms for years. That hasn't stopped people from hurling abuse on those platforms, or even using bots to conduct hate raids on certain streamers, despite facing legions of volunteer moderators. But it does seem kind of strange that Instagram Live is only now letting streamers recruit some mods of their own, especially since Instagram proper has faced increasing scrutiny over the effects its platform can have on users, particularly those on the younger end of the spectrum. Ukraine has started using Clearview AI's facial recognition during war. Ukraine received free access to Clearview AI's facial recognition technology after Russia invaded Ukraine, according to a letter from the company's CEO to Kiev. Clearview Technology said it has not offered artificial intelligence technology to Russia. Clearview has a database of over 2 billion photos from a Russian social media service to help Ukraine identify the dead more easily than trying to match fingerprints. Ukraine's defense ministry is using Clearview to help reunite refugees, identify Russian operatives, and debunk false social media posts. Clearview, which primarily sells to U.S. law enforcement, is fighting lawsuits in the U.S. over privacy concerns. Super Nintendo World is coming to Hollywood in 2023. Nintendo and Universal Studios announced that Super Nintendo World, the Mario-centric theme park that opened in Japan in 2021, will finally arrive in California in 2023. The companies haven't revealed when the park will launch in Florida. Nintendo also says that Super Nintendo World will be a visual spectacle of vibrant colors and architectural ingenuity located within a newly expanded area of the theme park, featuring a groundbreaking ride and interactive areas to be enjoyed by the whole family. Holoride's in-car VR tech is coming to Audi this summer. Holoride, a startup spun out of Audi, announced that it would debut its virtual reality headsets in certain Audi models by June. The Holoride system intertwines backseat passengers' physical world with an augmented reality for a motion-synchronized journey as the car moves along. The system is brand agnostic, which means other automakers can support it too. The current car VR system is free to use, but car makers can generate revenue from subscription services or charge for certain features. Being first also allows them an opportunity to establish a new media category Holoride calls elastic content. Whether you're operating a flying saucer or a submarine behind the headset, the VR system adapts to the car's movements so that your VR journey mimics the acceleration, turns, and stops of the car. UK announces legislation to govern digital identity security. The UK has announced plans to introduce legislation to improve the security of digital identity solutions. The new rules are designed to enhance trust in digital identities, reducing reliance on traditional physical documents such as passports and driver's licenses. The UK's Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport made the announcement following a public consultation period. Digital identity solutions can be accessed in numerous ways, including via a phone app or website. However, there are considerable privacy and security concerns relating to how the sensitive personal data collected will be stored and used. Data Minister Julia Lopez commented, "This government is committed to unlocking the power of data to benefit people across the UK. The legislation we're proposing will ensure that there are trusted and secure ways for people and organizations to use digital identities should they choose to." Google rolls out Airstrike alerts for Android phones in Ukraine. Google is hoping its Airstrike alert system for Android phones can save lives in Ukraine, which is fending off an invasion from Russia's military. Android users in Ukraine can begin receiving air raid alerts directly from Google. Google is using the location information of Android phones to determine who will receive the alerts, and will not use the location information to track or identify users. The air raid system seems like it piggybacks on the wireless emergency alert notifications already built into Android phones. The system relies on a cellular or Wi-Fi connection to notify you about incoming disasters, Amber Alerts, and other public safety measures. Users can also turn it off. Unmanned aerial vehicle is based on Da Vinci aerial screw design. Leonardo da Vinci designed the first vertical takeoff and landing craft to fly using a single propeller, the aerial screw, and students were challenged to reimagine this design using modern analytical and design tools. A UAV named Helico was designed by UMD's 2020 graduate entry, which derived its name from Leonardo's drawing of the aerial screw. Austin Preet, who worked on the design, said that the successful flight took 3 months. The team wants to evaluate the aerial screw against existing rotor styles and to evaluate the screw in different flight regimes. TorGuard will prevent VPN customers from using BitTorrent. TorGuard has settled a lawsuit from 27 movie studios in October of 2021 and agreed to use commercially reasonable efforts to block BitTorrent traffic on its servers in the US. The company also says that it would have taken immediate steps to stop further privacy, such as suspending users and adopting a firewall to filter out BitTorrent traffic, as it has now begun to do, if its hosting provider, Quadranet, had made it aware of the studio's piracy complaints. TorGuard hasn't acknowledged a settlement on its main website, blog, or community forums, where some of its subscribers have expressed concern about the change following Bleeping Computer's report. The company hasn't responded to a request for comment. Ukrainian IT army hijacked by info-stealing malware. Security researchers are urging pro-Ukrainian actors to be wary of downloading DDoS tools to attack Russia, as they may be booby-trapped with info-stealing malware. In late February, Ukrainian Vice Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov called for a volunteer IT army of hackers to DDoS Russian targets. However, Cisco Talos claimed that opportunistic cybercriminals are looking to exploit the subsequent widespread outpouring of support for the Eastern European nation. Specifically, it detected posts on Telegram offering DDoS tools which were actually loaded with malware. One such tool, dubbed Liberator, is offered by a group calling itself Disbalancer. Although legitimate, it has been spoofed by others, said Cisco. The file offered on the Telegram page ended up being malware, specifically an info stealer designed to compromise unwitting users, it explained. There's no way to tell the malicious spoofs from the real DDoS tool, as none are digitally signed, the vendor warned. As those behind this malicious activity have been distributing info stealers since last November, Cisco assessed that it is not the work of new actors, but those looking to make a quick buck from the war in Ukraine. Thanks for joining us for another Monday on this episode of THT. Help us out by sharing the episode. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you tomorrow.